Thank you. It's all right. Regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners, agenda in order of business Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Council hearing room beginning at 5:42 p.m. at Government Center. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledgeable and permissible. Okay. Roll call of commissioners.
Jeffrey Sylvia.
Amber Burns.
Victor Farias.
Ellen Rigo.
Joseph De Silva. Acceptance of minutes from the May 4th, 2022 meeting.
I make a motion to accept that, minutes from May 4th.
Second.
Commissioner Farias made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yep. Thank you. Have our vice chair and everybody rise, please, for the salute of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we go on, I would also like to have 2 moments of silence, one for all the veterans in memorial of this past weekend, for Memorial Day. And the second, if we can do one for the victims of the tragic shooting down in Texas. Thank you. Citizen input.
Open meeting law.
I already read it.
Did you?
Where were you? I don't know where you were. That was the first thing I did.
Fell asleep. Okay.
Alrighty, citizen input. We have a couple of people that signed up. I have a Nelson Vasquez, I'm sorry. Believe it's 210 Sunset Hill?
Yeah, 210 Sunset.
Okay, and field at bottom of Kennedy Park. Okay, you come up and set out address. Just state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, you have 3 minutes.
Can you hear me? All right. My name is Nelson Vasquez, 210 Sunset Hill. Before I start with my segment, I'm going to read the mission statement from the Park Board, just in case constituents don't know per se what they do. This is my first time here, so I figure I could use this moment to let them know. The Park Board is in charge of the maintenance, control, and regulation of the use of recreational facilities, parks, playgrounds, cemeteries, and trees. That is on the website. Now, I live in the South End, right? And I was driving home the other day, and the baseball field at the bottom of Kennedy Park looks atrocious. It's an outright embarrassment of how that baseball field looks. I took pictures here. As you can see, you know, the dirt, it's just overgrown. Nothing is being attended to. The fencing in the background is all bended. And I'm going to give you guys this copy so you guys all can take copies for yourself. I came out of work, so I was always to get just one copy at least. And if you see here, it's just, you have the grass going over the dirt on a baseball field, which is not what it's supposed to look like. And some more visuals here. And this is the visual from looking at the home plate. You know, even the bench areas for the opposing teams, you have a seat that's cut in half, grass overgrown. I mean, and the list goes on. And then for the people to come to see this, it's all broken down. This is just very unacceptable to me, and I hope that this can be rectified as soon as possible. Because, granted, if someone is running on this field and falls and twists their ankle, you're looking at a lawsuit, another lawsuit in the city of Fall River. Lord knows there's pending lawsuits as it is. I'm gonna go to look at other parks to see what they look like. But I am definitely gonna give you guys this to let you guys know it's public record. And I will hope that this can be rectified in the coming days because, as a city, your parks are it's the first impression of your city. And if you don't take pride in your parks and they look like this, it sends a bad name about us. So I hope that you guys can get the word out to who is responsible to overseeing this because this needs to be changed. Is it you? All right. So I'm gonna end my segment here, and because
Just turn that over to
yeah, I'm
Mrs.
gonna turn it over to her, and thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next person signed up is a Jeffrey Giroud, I believe it is? Driver, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And just state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes.
And
It's Gaudeau.
and I believe you're here for the carnival?
Yes, 229 Palmer Street, Fall River, Mass. I'm here to support of the carnival. Hopefully, we can have one here again. It's been a long time since we had something fun and attractive for all adults and kids. I believe Carlos Caesar a while back had a carnival when the previous administrations had one. And of course, things changed over the past few years. Because of COVID, we couldn't have any. Unfortunately, couldn't have anything. But I know that there's some state rules in the park board in the past that has some issues of not having one. And I'm looking to see if we can actually try and work together and try to take responsibilities when it comes to attractions and making responsible of cleaning up, making sure, because people can do awesome events like we just had recently here at the a couple of days ago, and of course we had one at the Kennedy Park where the skating rink is. So I have no issues of having that available if that's been been used already. So I'm just hoping we can just have a fun summer event for everyone to enjoy themselves. So thank you.
Thank you. We also, had nobody else sign up. We also had this letter stated for public record for the Kennedy Park, but unfortunately, I cannot read it into record because it came in at 3:17 p.m. today. You have a deadline as of 12 o'clock noon for citizen input, so.
It also doesn't state that it's citizen input, so.
Yeah, it's just a letter, I guess, from the state representative, assistant. All right.
I think, Joey, if you wanted to, you can just say it's in support of that, but that's as far as, I think it's as a board.
Yeah, it's a letter from the state representative, Paul Schmidt, in support of a carnival for Kennedy Park. Okay. Close citizen input. New business. Item A. Request from Espiritu Santo School for a field day at Father Tabasso's Park, Alden Street, on June 8th and 9th, 2022, with rain dates being the 15th and 16th.
I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
Any questions? Commissioner Silva?
This, I believe, is a yearly event with the school. I don't see an issue with it.
A second, what he's saying.
Okay, So any other questions? Any questions? So do you have a motion?
Motion to grant permission.
Se- Seconded by Commissioner Sylvia made that motion for, it's a yearly event. Seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item B. So a bid award for North Park Ice Skating Rink improvements on Hood Street. So,
I don't have any questions if anybody else does.
Need a motion and second of the
I was gonna
board.
say, I don't have
Yeah.
any questions, so.
It's about ready to open tomorrow, next day. It's all mine.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
hey, Commissioner Burns made that motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, item C. Mr. Demine, you want to come back up here? And just for the record, Mr. Demine, can you just state who you are and the title that you're holding right now?
Charlie Denmead, interim director, Department of Community Maintenance.
Thank you. Item C is a bid award for Kennedy Park Baseball Field upgrades, Middle Street. I'm gonna ask Mrs. Smith to speak on this for a minute, because we had some correspondence going back and forth between the purchasing department and Corporation Council.
Basically, it's a matter of, the low bidder will be contacted. There were some issues, whether paperwork was missing from the bid or mandated in the bid, or if it's actually somewhere else in the bid stated. So we will be, most likely, the architect, purchasing agent, myself, Mr. Denmead, will meet with the low bidder, and provided everyone is, satisfied with the paperwork and the process, and everyone is under full understanding of what the project entails, then it will be awarded to the low bidder, which is what we would suggest. And, and then if not, if the low bidder does not meet that, then it goes to the second lowest bidder. So basically, that's what this is coming before the board for. There is some, a question of some paperwork, so if that paperwork is worked out between purchasing, legal, and whoever else needs to review it, then we will award to low bidder. If not, it will go to the second lowest bidder. So that's basically what we're looking for, the board's.
Commissioner Sylvia, I have a question.
I just have one question about the project itself. That field has the fence, the backstop, has a cement base, wall. Is that?
Staying.
That's coming out? Is that gonna stay there?
Staying. The poles for that backstop are in the actual sidewalk. So the poles will either go back in that actual sidewalk. We're not gonna take that wall out of there.
Okay.
It will be the footprint of what's there right now.
Yep. Motion to, accept.
I don't think you should make that motion for this
Okay.
Any other
particular,
questions? For the motion?
just as a
I
cautionary.
make a motion to approve to lowest bidder. If it does not work out, then to the second lowest bidder, depending on the paperwork.
Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Item D, request from Mark Conrad, Cookie Row Community Day, Griffin Park, July 4th. 4th Street, July 16th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This is an annual event.
10 years now.
I have no qualms or questions.
Any questions, concerns from any of the commissioners? Commissioner Sylvia, you have a question?
I did, I'm trying to find it.
It says grilled hot dog. How are you gonna do the hot dog?
And hamburgers, all right? And we're gonna use that giant grill, you've seen it before, that we use each year.
They get it inspected. They use the same grill every year.
Yep. Firefighters will be out there, they'll inspect it, we'll have a fire extinguisher there.
That was my question.
You all set, Commissioner Rego?
Yeah.
Commissioner Sylvia, you have that question?
That was my question
That
about
was
the
your question, all right.
inspection.
All right, no problem.
I make a
All right.
motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Burns, can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sylvia, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
As always, thank you, Commissioners.
You waited longer for the camera to go on.
Thank you guys for all you do. Item E, Highland Pediatrics, request for use of Highland Park, Robeson Street for a healthy living event. Date to be determined. And I know someone's here.
Hello.
Just state your name and who you're from and that.
I'm A.B. Raposa. I'm a nurse practitioner at Highland Pediatrics, which is in the Truesdale building right on President Avenue. So we've actually done a Get Healthy program at the office using space indoors to promote healthy eating, active living for our patients and our families, all free of charge. So we were hoping, especially in light of COVID, to do an outdoor activity for them to have more space and to see the resources and parks that are in their communities. And we said Highland Park can't be any closer to our office. So we were hoping to do a very simple walk with a dock type event with that park, the trail that kind of goes through the park. It would be a free event for our patients and families. We were thinking maybe like a midweek night once school is done, like a Wednesday night, maybe after 6 o'clock or so, just for a few hours. We would love it to be a recurring event if you would allow us to do so. And I'd like to bring in community resources just to set up tables, have Mass in Motion there, Boys and Girls Club, whomever would like to come and just share their resources with our patients and families. We had visions of maybe raffling off some prizes like grocery gift cards just to help promote healthy eating. Maybe bubbles and popsicles. We want to imagine grilling or cooking anything. But it would be at no cost to them. It's no financial benefit to the office. It's really just for our current patients and families and welcoming it to them.
I had a question. Any other commissioners first? Question, you said it was for your patients and their families. If someone, the general public wanted to go.
Yeah, of course, we
All
wouldn't
right.
stop them. We wouldn't know even really who was. If people were in the park and using the park at the time, yes, of course.
All right. Do you know the date yet or no?
We don't. We said maybe a Wednesday night,
Okay.
if that's doable, or a weeknight preferably.
Yeah, I'm sure if it's approved, you can work with Mrs. Smith and then she'll fill us in what day you picked and time and everything. Do we have any questions?
How many nights, you
It's just
doing
one
it, one night or?
Just one. I mean, if it was successful and you'd allow us, we'd love to maybe have it as like a monthly offering if possible. And we weren't sure if we were able to use the basketball courts too, if a few of the staff wanted to shoot hoops with the kids while others were walking around, if that would be just kind of utilizing what the park has to offer.
I know that there's a very active, kids are always playing on that, but
Right.
I'm sure if you have a permit to use it and you let them join in. I
Of
don't think
course,
they're gonna
yeah.
have a
We
problem.
wouldn't be kicking anyone else that was there.
I make a motion to approve.
Commissioner Rio made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
With the date to be determined, she'll work with Mrs. Smith. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Amy, I'm going to
please.
send you, an email, because there's other events, I can give you their contact information if you guys wanted to join in on other events too, just because I feel like that's something that this community needs.
Definitely,
It
right.
wouldn't necessarily be at Highland, but if it's something you're interested in, I can
Great.
give you some contacts
Yeah, we
as
really
well.
are trying to get more involved with the community. I've been on the HEAL committee before and stuff, so trying to do more, so I'd appreciate it.
And you brought up about food and everything. Commissioner Rigo here runs the food pantry down on Niagara.
Yeah, United
So-
Way, food pantries, anything that we could
maybe
have.
she
so.
can reach out to you and have her set up there.
Great. Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
I appreciate it.
Okay, item F, request from the Latin Christian Festival at Griffin Park, 4th Street on August 13th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Just state your name and addresses, and what you're here for.
Michelle Burgos, 372 Mulberry Street, Fall River, Massachusetts,
Thank you.
02721.
Jessica Escalera, 220 Johnson Street.
All right, just let us know what you want to do.
So we wanted to do an activity, if you allow us to, as Christian Latin Festival. It's the same thing Mark is doing. Mark is going to be there with us. We're going to be, it's going to be gospel music. We're going to be preaching, and we're also going to be giving out like coats and things like that for people that are in need. We're also going to be serving free food. We're going to have tables from different Latin countries just to show the culture. And we are going to be, it's our first time, so Mark is going to help us, the Salvation Army, and we're going to be using his large grill with him helping us and observing us.
Now, question I had was, it says potluck event. He's saying about grill. Now, potluck is usually people just bringing food and everything. Is that, the Board of Health's gonna have to check all of that?
So that's what we wanted to do, a potluck, but because we understand that someone has to be there to monitor the safety of the handling of the food, then we wanted to see what you guys thought about that instead of doing a potluck. It's still gonna be free food, basically, but we also wanted to comply with the law. So that's why we also said potluck, but if we have to use the grill and have someone watching us, we don't have a problem with
The
that.
safer bet was probably just grill. The safer bet, yeah, have his grill do that, and that way it's safer, and he's already doing it, you're experienced that way.
And it'll still
Then-
be Spanish dishes, yeah.
It's Spanish. It's just the same thing that he's doing basically, but Spanish.
I would check with the, just with the health department
Yeah.
and what, what regulations you have, because I know there's different regulations as far as preparing food or bringing food on site or whatever, so that would be the first thing that I would check to see if it's something that you're gonna be able to make your event what you want it to be, or whether it's gonna have to completely change, because the health department is gonna dictate that policy no matter what
Right.
the park board says, because that, like we said, there are regulations that they stringently have to follow, both state and city regulations, so.
Right, and that's what she was discussing, letting you guys know, because we understood due to the regulations, we're now changing it to just having everything grilled. and
Right, but
using
even
more-
like the food that you're bringing there to prepare, you
Burgers.
check with them.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
if you wanna do the Spanish thing, there may be a way to do the Latin thing, but
Yeah.
I would check with them first. Not that it's gonna affect
Yeah, 'cause you
anything
might
that
have-
this board does, but they're gonna have to sign off on your permit. So they're gonna need to know exactly what you're doing,
I
because
know
they
there's a
need to
few-
sign off to what
There's a
comes
few
back
Latin
here.
restaurants in the city, if they wanted to donate and set up a table there and donate food to the public and that,
Yeah, it's the same one
they
he's
are
using.
certified,
They're
they're
using his.
serve safe and everything, so it's their license. So the Board of Health could probably work with them if they wanted to give out a dish or something as a sample, because it's business for them too.
Right.
You won't know what they're doing
Something
anyway.
like that might be able to be done.
Okay.
Have work with the Board of Health first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so as soon as we get the permits from Board of Health, then we come back to you?
No, they can give you
We can
permission, but
approve
you
it,
need to.
and then pending that the Board of Health approves that way, if not, we'll approve a grill.
Okay.
Okay.
But if they wanted to do Latin dishes and that, work with the Board of Health, if they give you the green light, then go.
Awesome.
Okay.
Then
no
you
Ju-
go.
problem.
Just so everyone knows, when this board gives a permit now, they're giving the permit for you to use the land under your feet. Everything else has, the building department has their regulations, the health department has their regulations, and basically, the park board's permit is to use the land under your feet. Everyone else has other regulations, and you have to get that paper signed by them, so we know that you visited, because the paper that you bring around to them says, if these regulations from other departments are not met, then the park department's permit is null and void. It does not, it's not valid anymore. Until
Okay.
every one of those other people sign off, our permit is null and void. It's
I
just
see.
a piece of paper.
All right.
Okay, so what we're
That's
trying
good
to
to
do is
know.
just,
Thank you.
making
Yes.
everybody aware that these other departments, it's extremely important, more important than this, or just as important as this permission, that you get their permissions.
And under that, that request that we made, that's the only department that we need
No,
authorization from?
you'll have to go, and
Fire.
Mr. Conrad is very
Okay,
familiar,
Mark,
the
okay,
police, the
all right.
fire,
Yeah.
health,
Okay.
building, and you have to sign off, whether they, even if they have nothing to do with your event, like you're not getting water from anyone, you just need to tell them so that they know that that's events happening there, even like the police and fire, even people that don't have grills. They need to go to the fire department, because if there's a fire and you're having a large event in a park, now they know they can't go up that street. They're best to go a different direction. So the form that we put online is basically a safeguard for everyone, whether it has anything to do with your particular event or not. It may indirectly affect that department, so.
Okay.
And that form is online. It's called the Civic Events form, but I can send one, print one out and send it to you without a problem either, so. But
Thank
that's a very important thing, because without that being returned to me, I won't release the permit and you won't have a permit,
Okay,
so.
and what is the deadline for that?
Usually, it all depends. Before, we used to have them notified and approved. Now we just have you notify, so you can do it anytime before your event, just letting these departments know. But if your event changes, you gotta go back to them, because they need to know exactly what you're doing. So I wouldn't do it too far ahead, like a couple of weeks ahead of time.
Okay,
But you can have that paper right away and see what needs to be done. And I mean, your event is August, so you have some time.
okay, thank you.
And just like, not to bring up bad, past stuff and that, last year we had an event come before us, and unfortunately, we had to pull the plug at the 11th hour, because when that was presented to this board, it wasn't presented to what it ended up turning out to be. It was gonna be an all-out concert in Griffin Park, that police were not gonna be able to man that whole neighborhood was gonna be shut down. God forbid something went down there. There's no way, nobody was getting there into that. So, that's why we have that form, for that reason.
Okay.
For you guys to go to each department head, especially the chief of police and that, especially this year. They just had that event at Kennedy Park the other day, and then CD Rec had another event at the same time.
And there is another event.
That's why we're trying to say, is to make sure that events are not all duplicating on the same day, because now, with the police reform, there's no more auxiliary police. They did away with them. Now it's special operations, street crimes, and the housing unit that are covering all these events. I know me and Commissioner Burns work for housing, and we're paying a salary for them to be patrolling the housing sites, and then on them same days, they're patrolling all these events. That's not fair to the housing authority either.
Right.
Well, there is another event, just so you know, at Lafayette Park on the state,
Would that be an issue?
another church event, because I had made it that.
Yes, you did.
So, I mean, I don't know how the board feels about that.
We just have to figure out a day that's not interrupting any other that they're.
Yeah.
So that's, the only thing I will say with that, with the dates, that it's gonna be hard, because I feel like there was literally something going on almost
Yes, it
every
is.
single week.
And I had explained when Michelle first came to me that, like you had said at the last meeting.
Yep.
August has the feast, it has something else in Kennedy Park, it has this August event in Lafayette Park, and I asked if even a September thing could be done. I know a lot of times they want to give away backpacks and send the kids back to school with that, so but if this is not a backpack thing, you may be better, and I mentioned this, like a fall thing, a fall festival or a September date, because, again, as we're saying, there are about, every weekend in August from the
there's a fee-
10th
there's a
on,
fee- there's a fee
there's
from-
something going on. So if that's not anything that you have set in stone, it may even be better for your attendance to pick a date that someone else doesn't already have something. And I had mentioned that to Michelle when she first brought this request, but I think it was something where you guys wanted.
Yes.
This
we
date,
did
so.
want
Yeah.
this date, that's why, and if there's no issues with that, we will continue to appreciate that date.
Yeah, so I mean, in my eyes, I feel like I'm fine with this date, as long as you guys know there is another event, but if you do go to get the form filled out and they say that if they wanna put police presence and there isn't enough or of whoever it is, then you'll have to move the date, unfortunately, just because, like she said, we can say yes, but if somebody else says no.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know if
As
that'll
long as
even be
you're
an issue,
flexible.
but just as just in case if that does happen, that no one's surprised.
Okay. All right, we'll be fine with that.
And then if that does happen, which I hope it doesn't, then I'm fine with approving the motion, and if they need to change the date, then they don't have to come back to us, they can just work with Mrs. Smith, if that's okay with everyone else on the board.
That's fine with me. Any other questions, concerns?
Okay, so I make a
Do I-
motion to approve. If for some reason something goes awry with the date, then they can just work directly with Mrs. Smith on a new date instead of having to come all the way back for pre-approval.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Rego. Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Rego. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome. Item G, request from the Fall River Community Tennis to use of Maplewood Wood Courts, Stafford Road from June 1st to July 31st.
I'm a little confused.
Yeah, me too.
So we have a letter here in our packet?
They're all the same letter.
Yeah.
They're all, the three of them are
All both
the
together?
same group.
Yeah.
Wait, so was this letter having to do with that motion?
No, it can't be.
Because the letter
No,
is about
no.
the bench.
Yeah, that's wrong. That doesn't go there.
The bench.
Yes.
That's for that kid that got killed. Kid that got shot. Yeah, I got it right here. Look.
Oh, all right, this one here, yeah, well,
It doesn't go
this
with-
has come before the board before.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
so-
know, but I don't see it.
It's not on our agenda, that's my mistake, because they were all in one packet when they came in.
Okay.
But, the board had already approved, you don't have to make a motion or whatever, just,
So it's just,
well, it's in your packet, it's not listed on the agenda. That's my mistake, because
Okay.
I thought it was one, so I'm not sure whether you can act on the letter.
It's not on
However,
the agenda.
this is something that the board doesn't even have to, this can almost be an FYI for the board.
yeah, because it even mentions that we already said we didn't have an issue with this, so I don't know who this letter was to, but it's obviously not to us.
Yes, it is probably to you.
Yes.
Because the board, when
We
they
approved
first
this
came
already.
here, when this group first came here, they wanted to name courts and parks and whatever, and this board said, you can name, you can install a bench in his memory or a tree in his memory. So I will clarify it, but if, and I can probably do this based on past issues, past actions of the board. Explain the procedure, but if this group wants to have a bench or a tree put in, this board has already approved that.
Okay.
So I will work with the group. So if you want to, disregard
follow it.
this
Yeah.
because it's not anything, it's my mistake.
Okay.
But it's kind of an FYI from me to you.
Sounds good to me.
But that was my mistake.
No
So,
worries.
So, work with Mrs. Smith on the bench.
Thank you.
Tennis
Hey,
courts.
Item G, Fall River Tennis,
so it's not, just to clarify,
Yep.
this is not going to be a monument.
no.
No.
This is a bench
Yeah.
or a tree.
Yep.
If it's a monument, then it's gonna have to come back before, again, but I don't think this board, the board has already said they're not approving a
May I ask a
monument.
question on behalf of that, because it has to do with my son,
Yep.
please?
Well, it's not really on the agenda, but you can ask me the question, me the question, not them.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the question,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a tree already decorated there.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be too much to ask to just get that tree granted to me and a bench right next to it? That we would pay for it, we're not asking the city for the money for
Mhm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
We will fund everything.
Yeah.
We just want the permission to build it there.
Okay, I will work with you with that.
Yes?
Yeah.
I will, I'm not saying yes, I will work with you with
Yeah.
that because it's something that this board has approved a bench.
Yeah.
I will work with you with the location,
Okay.
okay?
Perfect. Thank
So
you
I'm
much.
sorry, I thought that this was part of their request because all the three letters
We're all together.
came in all at once on one
If we
email,
just-
so I just put it all together thinking it had to do with the festival.
It kind of does, because,
You want to do it at that festival?
not really, but the situation that my son went through is what brought us all
Oh,
together.
no, yeah, no, yes.
It's the reason why we're doing all these activities.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I understand. So I will work with you.
Can
I
I-
will look at this and I will call you tomorrow. This was my mistake, but this is something that the board has already
You were the
approved.
lady, you were the lady that called me too for today, right?
Yes,
Okay, so you already have my number?
yes, I do, yes.
Perfect, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I excuse myself
Oh,
for
yeah, no.
interrupting you
No
guys.
problem, no problem.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask one question? No, it's the bench tonight. Can it be like what with at Kennedy with the little plaque?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can put, they can put it near the tree, but I will go and see. They have to buy the bench and the
No, no, no.
plaque, and it says in dedication to whatever, yes.
Well, yeah, so
I will work
just
with
to,
you.
just to touch on that, so we already approved that, so we are, I don't want you to feel like we're not, we are,
Yep.
you're
Oh, I
good
know,
to
but
go,
I
and then
just
she'll,
wanted to make sure I was clear.
oh,
on
yeah,
what I
absolutely.
already
No,
had
this,
in my head.
Yeah,
yeah, this
we-
was my, like I said, this was my mistake. I thought that it was part of the other festival information. That's why I ended up calling you about the festival.
It's okay though.
But yes, the bench is cleared, and they had said if you did that, you would work with me anyway. So I will work with you. I'll give you a call and meet you there, either if not this week, next week, to see where you're
Thank
talking
you very
about.
much.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, item G, request from the Fall River Community Tenants Association, the use of Maplewood Courts, Stafford Road from June 1st to July 31st from 6 PM to dark.
Anybody else already using the tennis courts?
This
One-
group has used them before.
One question I have. It says Maplewood, but on Tuesday nights it's bicentennially.
They want both.
Okay, but it doesn't say that on here. On the
I
agenda.
think Monday, Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday, I'm saying, in the letter, it doesn't say it on the agenda.
Oh,
All
well,
right, I'm just,
let's not.
I just want to make it for the record.
We can only put so much on the agenda,
I
it's
know,
gonna become
but
the
I just
Declaration
don't
of
want no
Independence.
problems later on. I know we're gonna get problems.
As long as you have the location, the days are up to us. It says Tuesday nights. It says bicentennial Tuesday nights. But the agenda, but the posting doesn't say it.
Well, as long as they're fine with me coming and getting my Serena on.
All right, do I have
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner
I
Sullivan?
just want to make a comment about the, this request. It's nice to see all this paperwork we got in this request with things we usually ask the baseball league for.
asked them all
Losses and
for the same
insurance, and I just want to make that clear. And this is a group that's done it before, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, this is everything.
I told you.
I know, I'm just being smart.
All right, do I have any other questions or concerns?
Nope.
Commissioners?
Motion to grant permission?
Second.
Commissioner Sylvia made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, just, I gotta make one comment quick on, while it reflects this. So, Commissioners, I put these agendas together, especially this past weekend was a short week, because the agenda has to be together by the Monday of this meeting, by, what is it, 2 o'clock? It has to be posted. So.
The latest, diving
I
over the
put this
counter.
agenda together
What was that? That was
last Friday, I believe it was.
Thursday.
And- last Thursday, excuse me. And the thing is, we're gonna put this out to the public. When you guys are holding events and that, if I don't have it by that Thursday of that date,
We need it before.
actually, was it 10 days before? 10
Minimum.
days, at least minimum 10 days before,
'Cause I've-
it's not gonna
I
happen.
haven't mailed
It's gonna go
packages.
on the following agenda,
Oh, I
because
know.
what's happening is,
can't.
I'm putting this agenda together, then I'm signing it, and then after, she's calling me, another one came in, now I gotta go back, do it again, and it's not fair to us.
No, we see that, we
Yeah.
do, we do, and Nancy's doing a great
Yeah,
job of
yeah.
dragging us in as quickly as possible.
Yep, so, but, yeah, from now on, that's gonna be on the record that 10 days, if it's not in before, 10 days before
Well,
the
basically, I
park,
have to say,
we're gonna cut it off.
our website says 30 days.
Yes.
Our website says 30 days in advance.
We've been a little lenient.
And based on the type of event, 30 to 60 days. So if it's a big event, we want like 2 months' notice. I mean, it's not something that we can just turn around, because as you see, we have them going to different departments, we have them, so, I mean, I've been really trying to turn these things over so people don't have to wait. But it seems like when, okay, 30 days became 20 days, 20 days became 10 days, 10 days became 5 days, you know? So it is something that we're gonna have to be a little bit more strict on, and it's just gonna have to go over to the next meeting. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't allow for it because they wanna have it within that 30 days,
No,
so.
we're sticking with 2 months.
And unfortunately, what it is a public park. I'm not gonna say that I want you to go do that, but if you go do it, then what's gonna happen is you're at your own risk, because if someone calls and you don't have a permit, the police officers can throw you out of there.
Now, you're protecting us from ourselves.
I was just gonna say that. It's a public park until you have thousands of people
Exactly.
cooking and
Everybody wants
then it becomes an event.
Yep. All righty. Item H, request from the Journey Christian Church Summer in the Park event at Abercourt, Birch Street, or Lafayette Eastern Avenue, July 27th, 28th, and 29th, 9 a.m. to noon.
That's me.
Yep. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Just state your name and address.
My name's Sarah Pudlow. My address, do you want the church address or my address?
Yeah, that's fine.
The church address is 657 Quarry Street in Fall River.
Okay.
So I'm here on behalf of Journey Church and Highland City Church, which meets at one of the local schools. And we are looking to form kind of a community of churches coming together to put on this event, however, headed up by Journey and Highland City. It's just a community event for the kids in the community to come out. It's games, activities, crafts, the theme of our Summer in the Park, kind of a traditional vacation Bible school, if you will. We're calling it a Summer in the Park, is art and creativity. So lots of really fun art activities. There'll be different stations where the kids will rotate around. And we certainly hope to be able to do some giving back as far as school supplies. So we hope to rally the churches in the area to collect all sorts of school supplies to be able to donate and allow for kids in the community to pick up what they need. And so it's a morning event. We wouldn't take up the whole park, but we would have, a good section of it. We're hoping for Lafayette, and if that's not possible, for Abbott.
Any questions? Just one, I know you have 3 dates. Are you planning on leaving stuff there or bringing it back in for every day?
Good question. So we would break it down and likely store it in trailers.
Okay.
And then we would bring it back every day.
Okay. Off-site? Or you're leaving the trailers there?
I think we'd take it off-site.
Okay. I'm just saying because of security wise.
Yeah.
And everything, so.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? Are you planning on doing any food or anything?
There's potential for a snack station, but it would likely be closed.
Prepackaged.
Prepackaged snacks. It is a creativity style camp, so potentially giving the students the prepackaged items and then having them create with them. But I've got a food license myself, so I understand all the hesitancies that come with that. So it's definitely something we're cautious about.
And now this is only for all the churches that you belong to?
So-
Or is it for the whole public?
It's for the entire city. Everyone's welcome to come. Journey Christian Church, Highland City are heading it up. There will be other churches that are participating, and definitely open to the public. There will be pre-registration required just because we'll need to know how many kids are coming. So we actually have a website, fallriverchurches.org, that we're hoping to use as a launch pad where we're just uniting the churches and getting them together to do stuff in the city, to do stuff publicly.
And the reason why I was asking is because Commissioner Burns, I don't know if you were here when she was speaking to the other young lady about Highland. Commissioner Burns has a group of providers and everything from agencies, and Commissioner Regal also runs the food pantry, so.
We'd love to,
I was
yeah.
gonna say the same thing you guys said to her. I was like, I'll send you an email.
Absolutely, yeah. We're really involved with a lot of, we know Mark Conrad, he's part of our church, and so we'd like to be involved in the community as much as we can with any community events or, let us know.
I would also suggest that you reach out to Grace Gerling because they have a summer lunch program in both of these parks.
That would be great to partner
So
with.
you may have a lot more children than you
Respect.
thought.
Yeah,
With the summer
I have
lunch
her
program.
contact information. I can send it over to
that'd be
you.
great. Awesome.
So I would contact her as well and possibly work with her because your event could be a little bit bigger than you
Yeah.
anticipate, and maybe she can.
Yeah, we had thought about how we could potentially provide lunches in a kind of a streamlined way, if there was a certain organization that could come in with the food licenses to just provide that every day. So
She would probably
We'd love to
need to
connect.
know, I know that every time, she gets a certain count for certain locations. So I would definitely reach out to her when
Okay.
you do this, because you know, I think they even take it indoors at some point if it's rainy.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether these activities that you're planning would be able to work, you know, you might be able to work in conjunction with her.
They take their lunch program indoors?
At some of the-
Yes,
some
if
of
it
the
rains,
schools.
it has to
Some of the
go
schools, they
inside
have
to a
school sites.
school.
Okay.
But that's, the lunch program is definitely served every weekday
I
during
was
the
gonna say,
summer.
especially at Lafayette.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
And Abbott,
that's great.
too.
No, Abbott doesn't have a lunch program.
They don't have it
It
anymore?
was moved to Sunset Hill.
Sunset Hill now?
It was moved to Sunset Hill 3 years ago.
Yeah, if we could partner with them, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send that all over to you.
Great, thank you so much.
The other thing too, like she was saying, you'll send it over, it's just, it says your event ends at noon. I think she starts serving the lunch
I
at
was
that time.
11:30, yeah, so,
11:30
I mean,
noon,
you
so
could cap it off
So-
with
They-
lunch.
When they're leaving, they
Yeah.
can go over and grab their lunch.
It won't fully be 9 to noon. It'll probably be a 2-hour program, so
Okay.
likely like 9:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
And we'd arrive somewhere
Yeah,
earlier
and
to
then
set up.
She sets up at Lafayette, she sets up right
Up
at the
top
top
near
on
the
Eastern
pool.
Ave near the pool.
Okay, great,
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Farias made that motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Sylvia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just work with Mr. Smith, she'll be in touch.
Again, we'll
with you.
give you that civic events form,
Great.
liability, policy, that kind of thing that's necessary.
So much. Is it okay if I'm excused?
Oh,
My
yeah,
Parkinson's
yeah.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're fine.
Everyone else stays because they like us so much.
Yeah.
Don't worry, 5 o'clock, they stop.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is that official? Okay, good.
Thank you, everyone.
Item I, request from the Green School Principal to use Pulaski Park for a field day on June 9th, rain date, June 10th at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is an annual event for the Green School. It's the Vice Principal.
Motion to grant permission.
Second.
Okay. Motion to grant permission is made by Commissioner Sylvia, seconded by Commissioner Rigo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item J, request from Rachel Gosby regarding the farmer's market at Kennedy Park, Bradford Avenue for June 10th, from June to November.
The same request every year, right?
Yes.
Motion to grant permission.
Second it.
Motion made by, the grant permission by Commissioner Sylvia, second by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just one thing, just to let the rest of the board know. So Ms. Gosby is, what is her title?
Market master?
Market Master. We deal with her. Mrs. Smith deals with her. We're getting emails or calls from other farmers. Last year, it was the same thing, somebody trying to overthrow her and everything. We don't get into the politics with that stuff. It's her rules, she does it, we give her permission, she does it. If they have a problem concerning that, they need to take it up with her. It's not gonna keep coming to the park board because she runs a good program and I don't see, we're not gonna be the police for that organization to do that.
I'm excited for it to open.
All right, item K, request from the Flint Neighborhood Carnival at Kennedy Park Broadway on July 5th to July 10th. Come on up. Just state your name and address for the record.
Carlos Caesar, 367 Frost Street, Fall River, Mass.
And you're also president?
I'm the president from the Flint Neighborhood Association, and just like the letter explains, our board approved request. Again, this is, we try every year, and some years we got lucky, some years we didn't. I still have the opinion, and I understand that the board is trying to follow a rule that was dictated years ago. The cars don't run the way the cars was running 20 years ago. rules change, things needs to be updated, things needs to be changed. City, Fall River, it's not the city that was 20 years ago. Every time that I get denied, I always say when I leave this table, we need a board member or two to bring this conversation back to the table. A month goes by, a year goes by, I come back, nothing changed. I still think that we need to have a conversation. We need to bring back, we need to change rules, we need to, even if nothing changed, but at least we have a conversation about, a discussion about why is not, why is yes. And so what happened is about 3 years ago, I was in front of the board and I said, the reason that I'm bringing the carnivals, number one is because the city could enjoy a carnival. But number two is the money that we provide, that we get provided by this carnival, we always put back into the community. I didn't mention the organization that we would like to donate this year because I don't want them to expect something that probably is not going to happen. So I kept that for after a yes vote. We don't even do it for ourselves or to try to raise for our organization. It's so many organizations out there that got impacted, especially this year with COVID, that survive in volunteers, survive in donations, that they could not even leave the houses last year. So, and we would like to give back to those communities. 3 years ago, I was in here in front of this table and I said, please, somebody else is trying to bring a carnival, and I understand, I'm not against. What I asked was, please, this company, this is the company, this is the reason why we don't have carnivals in Fall River. Because this carnival comes in, destroys everything, and leaves. And that's exactly what happened. They brought this carnival in. Anybody can contact the carnival I use, but it's a carnival that has responsibilities, that he already came in person in front of this board, and he talked to, he answered all the questions that the people have. We have a big policy insurance, and they follow, and he follows through. And that's exactly what happened. This company came in, did some damages. Probably Mrs. Smith still have a few bills that never got paid, and leaves. And that's the problem I have. It's not from another person to bring the carnival. I would put them in touch. Anybody that wants to bring a carnival, I would put them in touch. I don't do things just for myself. This is my city. It's my neighborhood, yes. But most important than my neighborhood, it's my city. And I love my city. So we keep trying. And like I said, I would like to have a conversation depending on the vote. I don't care how the vote goes. But I would like, and we have a new board members now, that I would really like to get into a conversation and a discussion about this rule, and if it's something that makes sense still on or not, and then move on. If it's not, it's not, but at least we had a conversation, we put everything on the table, 20 years after, and that's the result. But with that being said, I always respected every single person on this board for their votes, that they're trying to follow the rules and do everything by the law. I never blamed nobody for a no vote. But on the same time, in return, what I ask is, let's have a conversation 20 years after.
Okay. I have a question.
Commissioner Burns.
And I do not want anybody to get fired up by this. Is the main reason why we stopped having carnivals is because of the damage that it caused? Is that the reason why we stopped?
I think there was a
remember these carnivals
multitude.
as a
I
kid.
think there was a multitude of reasons why we stopped. And some of them have not changed, being we don't have staff, and our staff has decreased even less. The board made that rule because it just was, let me say this. We have discussed this for a number of years, and each year it comes back to the park. Year after year after year, politicians, city employees, and Carlos can attest to this, park board members, we say, we're not gonna have them in the park, but we are going to find another location where we can have these events, okay? And it goes, it does not it doesn't say you can't have this carnival if it's not in a park. So everybody, city councilors, you name it, everyone has said, you're right, it doesn't belong in a park, but we should have these kind of events and we need to find a place. And Carlos is right in the sense where a month goes by, 2 months go by, no one talks about it anymore. The problem is, and I think that this is the case, the parks, we can't have fireworks in the parks because they're very congested when you have these kind of, because we're into neighborhoods. So everyone needs to quit spinning their wheels and quit making things sound good. And not only this park board is the one that's held at fault, like, oh, we're holding carnivals hostage. We're not holding carnivals hostage. These are city-wide events, and they should not be placed on the back of this park board because the only place people want to put them is in a park. If everyone, state representatives, everybody wants to say, yeah, this is what we should do, but Mr. Caesar is right. Come to the table and find an alternative location then, because it really shouldn't be in a park, because there is a lot of destruction.
And I have to
And regardless of how good the gentleman is, I know the gentleman's, of a reputable company, but you're not gonna say that it doesn't have a detrimental effect on the property, that it has. We've said we need a fairground, we need a thing for, I've been around long enough Carlos has had rodeos, he's had you name
Yes.
it.
And that's
he's had
exactly
it.
what I was gonna say, was I scratch my head and I look through maps. I sit down with planners to try to fund a location. And it's no locations on this city to do a carnival outside city properties. Has to be in private properties. I did use a mill 10 years ago because I got the crazy idea, somebody came to me with an idea to bring a rodeo. So I total changed a parking lot, a mill parking lot into a rodeo, into a arena. What I have to be divided. City had to bring, I don't know how many trucks of dirt for the animals and all of that. So I just make it possible, things to happen, things that people can enjoy themselves, and the people that cannot afford to go to Texas to see a rodeo, they can see it right on their backyard. I try my best to fund places. When I got denied, I was able to fund Harbor Mall. It was closed. I worked with Ken Fiola. He was happy enough to help me. We found a place. We contacted the owner. We had it there. I try to get the carnival going, even if it's not city parks. But one thing that I disagree with Mrs. Smith all the time is the damage that the carnival does in a park. The damage that the carnival does in a park, it's always, that's why they have insurance. They will fix it, whatever it is.
They can have insurance
the
all
hurt.
they want, but it's like you said, I'm still not collecting on my damage.
Yes, but-
So the point of it is you can have all the insurance you want, but if you don't, just like Mr. Hackett, if you don't go through your insurance company, the person who has the damage stays with the damaged property. I just think, regardless of what anybody says, and this has been the ongoing situation, it's difficult to put these things in parks. And you're gonna tell me that we've had school properties come up, we sell them. We've had other properties come up, we sell them. Why wouldn't we have turned one of those into something? This has not been going on yesterday. This has been going on, as you said, for 20 years. And you're gonna tell me there has not been a parcel in the city of Fall River that came up for sale that couldn't be used? I don't understand.
Well, we have this property, and I talked to a couple of mayors about this school across the street here. It's right on top of the highway. It's a perfect place for a fairground because it's downtown, has no houses around, and is sitting right there on top of the highway. Anybody driving on the highway will see an event there. But nothing happened. Well, I have people, and she knows who I'm talking about, that are comparing the carnivals with the Holy Ghost feast. So, and I have them told me, well, if you want to change the carnival into a feast, you invite a priest to the carnival to blast the rites. Now it's a religious event. It's not more carnival, But this is not going to answer the question. A ride's still a ride, and a procession's still a procession. Okay. So, and I understand that, but in the meantime, I think it's not fair for our city to have a carnival just like all other towns. And like Mrs. Smith said, that goes into the politicians too. That goes into the administrations too. We need a carnival here. Just like we need a new school, we need a carnival. So let's find a place to do it. Let's work together to find a place. But that never happens, and we are, again, it's another year that went by, and the last time I heard about the carnival was when I got a no 2 years ago, because last year I could not have it.
Any questions, concerns, commissioners? I have one opinion, is you're the president of the Flint neighborhood. You have a business that's right there. What about US Betting that just took over Sam's Club? They don't use that whole parking lot.
I tried with Mrs. Fiola.
Yep.
Carol Fiola, I believe that they're good friends.
Yep.
And I did put a call and was negative. Believe me, I knocked at every door.
That's a lot of wasted parking right there.
It is.
That's a big area.
Even the old Sam's Club where they are right now,
Yep.
I said, I just need half of the back.
Yep.
I don't even need the front. I just need, give me half of the back of the building.
Yep.
It's enough for me to put a carnival there. But, I knocked at every door on the city that has a good size park that they could get their business going,
Yep.
and in the meantime. And I was lucky to get that mill. And then what happened, I found out, was after the rodeo, they took a couple of days to come and pick up the trailers and with the arena and everything. And now it's Monday morning, and they have the trailers coming from New York, coming in to the factory. So now I got the owner from New York saying, Carlos, you told me you were going to be out of there on Monday morning.
These are the things that prevent that from happening in parks, the same thing. We're gonna be out by Monday, it's still there by Thursday, it's,
So,
if it were that easy, he
the
would be
carnival,
able to put it
it's pretty
anywhere.
good. I don't know if you guys noticed, remember, 2 years ago, I got the parking lot behind the Fall River Shirt, which now it's all fenced, the back. The owner said, okay, you can have it there, 4 days, no problem. So the carnival is starting to move again. They were gonna put the trailers with the toys all against the building. The owner then told me that the back, it's rented to a construction company. So now they are opening the rights, and here comes the trucks, company trucks that rents the back of the mill. So I said, can you open? And they said, well, we're not going to be open and closing. We're moving to the next town. They shut down, and newspaper already announced everything was a mess. Again, trying to fund a private place to put it. I try my best.
No, okay, so I don't wanna keep
Yep.
prolonging it, so y'all already know how I feel about this because I love doing stuff for the city, so in my eyes, I feel like maybe there is a way that we can make it work, and that's just me, I'm only one person, and I know Helen's already shaking her head. So I know that the issues that we've had, and then you had said that, does the carnivals pay to have it here? Is that how you make money off of it? Because you were
No,
saying you would you would be able to donate to
Yeah,
someone.
so what he does is he shares the profit with us.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and like I said, everyone just hear me out. What if there was a potential that a part of the profit comes like to us for potential damages or, like I said, and I know that the week that they want to.
This is you, don't look at me, this
No,
is
no.
the board's decision.
No, but this is I'm saying this to everyone, but, just because, like I said, I'm also thinking of places like on the board's defense, because I'm Switzerland in this way, because typically when I see carnivals, like in other, cities, it's not in parks, typically they're in like malls, so like Dartmouth has one every year, it's always in the Dartmouth Mall.
What about Swansea?
We just had it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
We just
Swansea.
had it.
But that's what I'm saying, so it's not always, I don't think I've ever seen one in
And
a
we've
park.
had it in Harbor Mall parking lot.
And so that was the other thing, I'm like, they've had it in Harbor Mall, why can't they have it there again?
And the reason they do, well, because now South Coast Plaza is
They
there.
don't have enough parking for the mall right now. It's like
South
weekends,
Coast,
it's
and
crazy.
South Coast Plaza will never allow the ride. The rides have to bang into the concrete and bang into they have to,
Make holes. in
no,
the
what do you say,
Spikes.
anchor,
Secure.
thank you, Charlie. You have to anchor these rides. They're big rides. You
Oh,
can't-
no, I-
So the reason we stopped them in parks and in Kennedy Park is because they anchored into the waiting pond. And that's what brought that, out of that, no more things in the waiting pond. Because the waiting pond now became porous, cracked, whatever, so that was out of the question. These parking lots, many of them that they allow them to have them in, are in pretty bad condition, so it doesn't really matter what happens there. And that's why, if it were so easy and it wasn't an issue, he would not have a problem with going to US Mattress or Sam's Club or whatever. These things somehow just snowball in, and that's why they're in these parking lots or whatever, like we're saying. Unfortunately, I mean, that's why I said, some of these schools had parking areas, the school was there, and to me, it would have been a perfect thing, and I mean, I've said it a million times, and 1,000 times we've discussed Watuppa Heights. We've discussed Watuppa Heights so long that you could have had 25
And every year I
carnivals there
tried.
already, and the fact
Every
where
year I
they said it's not available. Well, what are they doing with the land? Because it's been sitting there for
Well, the
whatever.
reason-
yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking you.
No, well, I can, it's not even, it's not ours.
I'm not even asking because of that. I'm just asking, there is a parcel of land that supposedly we would, and Carlos can attest to this. Oh, we're gonna look into that, and then something has been going on with this parcel for this many years.
It's in litigation, so that's why, so
Exactly.
like, I'm not allowed to say anything, but like, it's literally not even the housing, it's literally with the state, so we can't, even if the housing authority said right now, like, oh, yes, we want to, it's literally not even an
Right,
option.
but I'm saying, he has, he's saying Representative Fiola, he's saying Representative Schmidt. These are people that are associated with the state, maybe they can.
And the reason that
speak of
the
these
board
things.
got a letter from Paul Schmidt was because I contacted because of the Watuppa Heights. I called him because of the Watuppa Heights, and he told me we
us.
cannot even touch that. But I will support you on the carnival. I said, oh,
Of course.
it's
they
not
will,
going to do
because they don't
much.
have to-
The only thing that we have permission for, that they gave us for, is when DCM, snow removal, they dump the snow there. That's it. That's the only thing that can go there, because it's an emergency.
So,
Mr. Silva,
has anyone looked into bicentennial? Because like, I mean, Fall River Celebrates America used to be down
Yes,
there.
that
Yeah,
states,
Heritage
I
don't
looked
want
into
them there.
it too.
Carnival's there anymore either.
No,
Then the parking lot where the carousel
Heritage
is.
State Park.
Yeah.
yes, I
What did I
contacted
say?
state.
Bicentennial.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no,
where
no,
the
no,
Vietnam
no,
War.
that's my fault, that's my fault.
No, the carousel
The
parking
state
lot,
used that
I
part of the
contacted the
parking
state.
No, she's talking
And
about,
they just did
Battleship Cove parking lot.
the new
That's
parking
what
lot
I
a
know,
couple years
yeah.
ago, and they denied it. They don't want anything.
Yeah.
They just did it 2 years ago. That's what the state told me. We just put a lot of money into the new parking lot near Battleship. Yeah.
All right, I'm
They lock
out.
those gates at night.
What?
They lock the gates down at that
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah, they
At night,
they
8
lock it
o'clock
at 8
at
o'clock
night.
at night.
They lock
They
those
do?
gates.
State police do.
Yes.
They don't want
State
people parking
police
in
come
there.
down and lock the gates.
Yep, they put barriers there.
Well, they probably keep it open if there's a carnival there, but,
Uh,
I'm just kidding, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we can stay here 5 hours trying to
I know.
identify
12 hours.
parcels, and believe me, probably 99% I knock on their doors already. Mr. Silva has a question.
Commissioner Sylvia.
I know Mr. Caesar has heard me say this in the past, being on this board, and everything, I agree with the conversation going on. We've done on this board, over the years, tried to work with Mr. Caesar, tried to work with the administration, tried to work with everybody to find a place. Mr. Smith is right. We had other places that we could have, the city owned and got rid of or whatever. I'm not against carnivals, you've heard me say that in the past, and I would love to support you, but I just don't see where we can put it. Or anybody can put it for that matter, not us, we're not gonna put it anywhere, but, for the reasons that we discussed, the damages and liability and insurance and things of that nature. So, I wish there was an easy solution.
And the reason that we got carnivals,
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Are you,
I wish there was an easy solution, and, but this conversation's been going on for years. I've been on this board for a long time, and we've had these conversations over and over and over again. When the board decided what we were gonna do and try and alleviate the problem, and we instituted some rules and stipulations, everybody got involved. Nobody wanted to get involved to assist us in finding a place, but when the board made rules, now, everybody wants to have their opinion and voice it, but nobody's offered a solution either. I'm willing to sit down and try and find a solution, but I'm not prepared to vote on this today, until we have those conversations.
What
No.
if there was a stipulation that, like, they couldn't have certain rides? Like, I don't know what type, like, if they couldn't have a Ferris wheel, they couldn't have, like, big rides.
If they can't do the big rides, they don't make the money.
it's not what they don't.
That they don't make
Because, I
the
mean,
money.
like,
How it goes is, this is how a carnival goes. Mr. Caesar, you get us to come into your town, we're gonna give you your organization, $10,000. Bottom line, you get a fee, like it or not, rain or shine, that's your fee. Then we're gonna give you a certain percentage of the tickets. That's how that works, correct, Carlos?
No, so what
that's how it's
no,
always
no,
worked.
Yeah, no, what happens is
They don't just split the percentage of the ticket. You give, they're
No,
guaranteed.
they, what they do is, this company, the other companies don't work like this. This company provides me 15,000 coupons for every kid in school. Goes home that weekend with a coupon that he can use during a specific day, a few hours. He's inside, he can leave one ride and go straight to another. And many times he wants. It's free rides with that. Then what he does is he gives me bracelets for families that really cannot afford. I contact the schools kind of give me some information and give me numbers, and I call them, and they pick up the free bracelets for the kids, okay? Then on the end, when they pay the bills and everything, that's what he tells me. That's why I got $10,000 the first year that we did 2 weekends. I got $10,000 was the cameras that we purchased for the police department. Every time that the carnival comes in, it gives me a donation, I put back into the community again.
Okay.
That was the first year. Then the second year, they only gave me $6,000. Was just 1 weekend. They just give one. So that depends how much they make.
Okay.
And sometimes they have a rainy day that they don't open. That happened before too. So all that impacts how much they give it to us.
Okay.
I never know when they come in. I never know how much they're going to give me. That's the difference.
So I'm trying, and this is the last thing I'll say, I promise, because I'm just trying to make this work, because I feel like being on the park board, I don't like seeing, which like it was in the paper or it was or online, like, oh, it's about the park board's probably gonna turn it down, and like you guys said, like and
falls on the back of
it
the
falls
park
on
board.
us, like you had said, the state representative, oh, I can't help you, but I support you, and it's like, that really does nothing for anyone, because anybody can say they can support you, but
Pass on
until
the
they're
buck.
there,
Exactly.
getting their like their elbows dirt, like that does nothing for me. Like anyways,
It's like, who's a volunteer before everyone steps back and you're
like I'm
standing
gonna
there?
like I'll volunteer to help you, and then they don't show up the day of. Like that's not how it works. Like yeah, your word is great, but if you don't, if there's no action behind it, anybody can write a letter. Anybody can give somebody's letterhead. Hey, type this on here and send it to Joe Schmo, and it's yep, I'm in support. So and anybody can take that exactly how they want to take it. But
the problem is bigger than what is the park board going to grant this permission. The problem is bigger than that.
correct.
And I think that, here's the other thing. Mr. Caesar has a carnival. Once you open that carnival door, he wants a carnival, he wants a carnival, he wants a carnival, and he wants a carnival.
Well,
It's
but
not
he's-
just one, and don't, no.
But here that's what comes the rules.
Okay, so all right.
That's
Oh,
what
here's
comes
the,
the
no,
rules.
the rule
You
is,
don't want-
the rule should be then, the city sponsors the carnival. The city needs to be the one to hold the carnival, find the carnival's place, be the carnival sponsor, and then there's one carnival. Because the minute you say Flint Neighborhood Association can have a carnival, Niagara Neighborhood Association is gonna wanna have a carnival. And I'm just saying, Helen, and this is no association, and this is why it led to no carnivals.
So-
And the only reason
And
that
that is
carnival
exactly-
All right, yeah.
And a church, and a this, and a that, and it's,
Okay.
we've gotten these events to be a little bit more low-key with cookouts and music and whatever, because before, everyone would've wanted a carnival, because the carnivals generate a lot more money, but that, we just had the thing about the police. Well, the carnivals create a lot more issues for the police department as well.
So then why is there a way that us as a board can send a letter to the city?
We've had the past chairman of the board
I've reached
offer
out.
to sit with, and go out and look with other workers and people that sponsor things in the city to go find, and nobody does, because when Mr. Caesar's right, when he leaves here, we're sorry, Mr. Caesar, the answer is a no, but we're gonna look for a place.
I seen.
So that's not what I was gonna say, sorry. So I was gonna say, so what if we as a board agree to allow one carnival, just
I'm listening
one
to you.
carnival per season? And it is something that the city has to take control over. So it is a city, so if the Flint organization wants to pair up with the city, but it is an event the city themselves plans.
They did this
and then-
already. I'm gonna tell you, this is what they did. One year, did we not do this, Carlos?
Every time,
One
that's what I'm
year, the
trying to
Flint
say.
neighborhood was gonna sponsor it. The next year, Natalie, from Bank Street was gonna be the one to benefit with the money. The next year, someone else was gonna benefit. Let's be
So-
honest and tell the truth.
So far, the carnivals that we've been allowed in the city was never approved by this park board.
Never.
Okay.
Was always sponsored by the mayor. I can leave now here with a no, and the mayor could get me on the phone and say, Carlos, I'm sponsoring your carnival.
No,
That's
no,
all.
but
I
that's
just
not, y'all
spent
cut
2
me
hours
off, because
in
that's
here.
not what I'm trying to say. Like, you guys aren't letting me finish.
Okay, well, 'cause
So what I'm saying is if it is a city-driven the City of Fall River driven carnival, whoever it is, Joe Schmo Association, if Helen wants to, whatever, it can be this event. Anyone who wants to be included can be under this umbrella. However, they handle the entire thing. We as the park board say you can take whatever the park is we decide. They can use that park, but then they are liable for everything. So the next day, if there is still something there, the city is responsible for it. If there is
We don't
damage, the
have the
city is
people to
responsible
remove
for
it.
it.
We don't have the people to fix the.
No,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is
Let me
if the
just say
city
this,
is
Ann.
responsible, if the city is responsible, they can get, like, I work for the housing authority. If we don't have enough people on staff, we subcontract things out. So the money that they get from this carnival, they
We
would
don't
have to
even know what they
subcontract.
get, because when we have people, this is what we used to do. When we had people have events in parks, we used to say, we want a cherry sheet back from your event. You know how many cherry sheets we got back from people's events to tell us what was their expenses and what were their revenue? 0. Zero. Because after the event is done, they owe us nothing. They don't look back. They're just as guilty as we are, as far as turning their backs on, this is what we make, this is what you did. But before, these organizations used to have to give us, this is what but now we can't even depend on them giving us the correct information. It's the same thing as with the leagues. How many kids are in your leagues? We count on honesty, and unfortunately, that's not what happens. Like I said, we can go on forever about this, but I have damages done by charter school, by the charter school bus that used to be in Kennedy Park, that I have on my wall in my office, okay? Get a price, get a price, get a price. All I do is get prices. And you know who fixes it? Nobody. Not the charter school, not the city, and then I have people coming in saying the parks look like a dump. Yeah, they're right, they do look like a dump, because everybody gets permission to use them, and when they don't fix them, and the city don't have money to fix them, it doesn't get fixed. So, I mean, we can go on and on.
Nancy, Nancy, I just have one thing to say.
Yeah.
You got all my reports, every event that I put on the city park. You got them all.
Right, but
If you
let me
don't
say
have
this
it, I
about-
will have copies. I will drop it off to you.
Carlos, it doesn't, I'm not, one way or another, you know, I don't care either way. But the guy that ends up having to chase everything is me.
I understand.
Because in the end, after it's done, nobody cares. Everybody's happy, everybody shook hands, everybody went there and kissed babies, and I'm the one stuck with the mess.
I do agree that the city should be the one sponsoring a carnival. And it's up to the city where they're gonna donate. I will able to do that. I have no problem to do that. Somebody wants a carnival, I will work with them. I don't even want the donations.
Have you gone
I
to
just
the-
want the event here.
Carlos, have you gone to the administration first, asking about this?
No, again, because
I don't know. I don't know how.
Like
big
I said,
schools are.
I feel like, I don't know if we want to table, I don't know what we do with this, and I
You
know,
can't table it
I'm pretty
because he
sure
needs
I'm
to
the,
know.
I feel like I'm the only person that would ever vote yes on this, but I feel like if we go about it the correct way, I think it definitely can be done. If we make the city give the park department funds for any damage, but they have to, regardless, we get a fee we charge the city to use our park.
The city of Fall River?
Yes.
You can't do that.
Who says? Who says? That's what I'm saying. Who says that we can't? If that's something that the city wants, if that state representative, if all of these people want to put it in the paper saying, we won't do it, give us a fee to be able to repair any damages that are happening, and then you can have it in our park.
well, the owner was here the last time he was here. He said, I will drop off a check. I have no problem paying for damages because he's confident that he will fix anything.
What I'm saying is,
Carlos,
But
the
again-
last carnival that took place in Lafayette Park, we moved the cheese. When was the cheese moved back?
It never went back. We voted 2 months ago, and I called Mr. Devine today. The cheese finally got removed today.
But I was not there the last time.
I'm just saying, but I'm not blaming you.
I
I'm
was
just
not-
saying, the
I was not my
promises,
carnival the
the
last time.
promises that are made by
That was the
city
company that
organizations.
did that before.
Exactly, but
I sure-
these promises were made by city
Look,
organizations
even
to
safety.
the park board.
I took
So you're
pictures
fighting
of
yourself.
kids next to the electric
put your money where
boards.
your mouth is. That, at the end of the day, I'm the director of finance of Housing Authority. You want something, you have to pay for it. Whether it's, even though it's a city park, right now, I work for the Housing Authority. We have executives that we charge out for all of our different sites for the entire Housing Authority. So if Sunset Hill has something that I have to work on, they have to pay a portion of my salary. So just because we all fall under the same umbrella of the city of Fall River, you want to use my park, I need money to be able to repair it after you use it.
They
And
charge
that's as simple as that.
$125 a day for park fee use. Do you think that that's gonna fix anything?
We'll up the fee. I don't
gotta
know.
be
I'm
put in
trying
ordinance.
here.
It's
Okay,
like
no,
a
I'm
first
just
and-
saying,
first and
that
last.
these fees have to
It
be
has
put
to
in
be put in
ordinance.
the ordinance, and we don't
You
have
can't
that right.
charge
City
just the
council.
fee, it has to be in ordinance that this is the fee that's charged for this particular thing.
Well, we
If
can
it's not
have an
in
ordinance
we
for
can't.
carnivals.
So-
That could be a separate thing for carnivals, and we can say only one carnival can happen a year.
And
It's not
that's,
gonna happen this year.
Exactly.
All right, I'm bowing out, I'm hungry, so I'm done.
But
I think Carlos,
Talk with Mr. Caesar.
I think, Carlos, that this is not gonna happen in the next, be able to happen
Yeah.
in 2 months. But again, you've come here and you've opened up the dialogue.
Yep.
Let's hope, because I've said enough of things to probably anger a lot of people.
You and me both.
And for me, and to finalize, so we don't stay here all night.
Yeah.
Here comes, and that was the perfect example Commissioner Burns just brought up. That's a conversation that's something that could be part of the conversation. Is that going to be possible? Do we need to change, did the city councils need to be involved? So let's get the city councils involved. Let's change the rules. Let's put policies on and let's move on. Because what I feel is when I live here, that's it. You'll see me
Exactly,
here
that's
next
right.
year again, which I already know that I'm not going to go nowhere, but I keep trying every year to see if I don't burn that bridge down, and if we keep having conversations about the carnivals, because at the end of the day, I still think that we deserve, our kids deserve, our city deserve, just like other small towns around us. It's towns around us have it, and I think our kids deserve to have a carnival. It's once a year, but I think they deserve. Let's keep going to that conversation and let's get it done.
No.
In one way.
Now I want to say a couple of things. I've been patient letting everybody else talk on it. My thing is the perfect scenario, and like she said, the former chairwoman, I know I seen on social media her and Mike Dion going back and forth about land, and when I came on this board, I immediately called him and said, you need to find some land for this. Because it shouldn't just be for carnivals, it should be for circuses.
Yeah,
It should
a
be
fairground,
a fairground.
a fairground.
A fairground,
Agreed.
preferably off a highway. That way it's easy access and that, it's not tying up a congested neighborhood, because if we allow this to go in Kennedy, now you have the feast the following month, you just had a car show, you have another block party down there, and when does that neighborhood get a break? Them poor people, like, where do they park and everything?
Yeah. And the reason I moved to Kennedy Park this year was because the funds was gonna stay on that neighborhood. So that's why I want to, I brought it from my neighborhood up here. Because again, doesn't matter where it goes. It's our city. It's my city. So.
Well, I grew up down at Harvard Terrace, and I helped out one day, it was a circus, down at Tillerson Rubber, on that dirt area. I helped put up the big, with elephants and everything. They pulled up, we were all teenagers, and we helped. And they let us in to watch the circus. That's you know what I mean? It's like.
A fairground, anything that wants to come into the city goes to that destination. The city could have electric already approved there. Everything, just open up the doors, hook up your electric
What
that
about
you
the
need.
gates?
Everything, it's a fairground.
What about the gates?
It's too small. It is too small.
How big you
It
want
is
it?
too
I mean,
Well, some of
Okay,
this
guys,
right,
this is just, all right.
some of this rights need to be 50 feet away from electric too.
My
so.
thing is, like everybody says, is, and I brought this conversation up a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, I know the city pier, they're fixing it all up and that to do concerts and everything else there and that.
I tried that.
My thing is, I don't know about a whole carnival down there, but my thing is, why can't we be like Atlantic City and Myrtle Beach and that? Why don't we have a Ferris wheel down there? You'd make money like that down there. Why can't we do that?
Agree.
We should be that. That way you see that going over the highway and that.
I just want to ask
Commissioner
Mr. Caesar a
Silva.
question, refresh my memory.
Yes.
School department, have you ever tried using any of their land? What comes to mind to me is Henry Lord. They got a big green field. Yeah, it's grass, it's not tar, but
well, they're going
you want to get the city involved. Well, why can't the school department
grass. What?
use that land?
Good to wreck. Theirs isn't good.
I even told them the donation will go to the school.
Well, what did they say? Wait, and what did they say? And what did the school department say?
The people that I talked to, they never made a decision. But
Well, maybe it's time they make a decision, because we've been here for the park board. You've been coming to the park board for 25 years. Maybe, first of all, I don't even think Henry Lord is used. Now, you're gonna have a situation for parking, but you don't have a situation for parking at Kennedy Park? You have the same situation for parking, there's no way to park. So, there's all Tiverton, Shove up that way, what's up that way, used to be, all these things they sell.
Well, the carnival in the neighborhood.
My understanding is Henry Lord hasn't been used for a long time, that field.
Yeah.
They use it for, what's it called?
That wouldn't be big enough, right?
For Falcons.
Falcons.
for
Well, I have Father
practices.
Travasso's
That's the other thing.
field.
Full-time, yeah.
No, during
I
the
have
summer
Father
too.
Travasso's field,
Yeah.
nothing's going on in there too.
Yeah, well, again, you wanna come to the park, get out of the park, go someplace else. Always the park.
I would say is, like you mentioned about the school and that, and they did the movie nights there and that, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to have a carnival at Durfee's.
Oh, yeah,
West
no,
End.
not
now.
That parking lot.
That hill?
No, I'm saying that
Yes.
parking lot.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
we looked at you.
I'm not saying Durfee, I'm saying Henry
But
Lord.
I'm saying, that's like an old
Yeah, I was
parking
gonna say
lot
Durfee would be
that's
perfect,
destroyed,
but you
so-
couldn't get me on a Ferris wheel on that hill. Get out of here. You go rolling down.
But here's the thing,
What about
the
Meridian
issue has always been
Street?
with the school
What
department.
about like,
Well, again-
Jose's, what's it, Sylvia's school there?
I just want to remind you, we are doing a meeting, so we need to,
No, we are doing-
Oh,
I don't
we
want to
are.
wrap up you
We're
guys.
I never knew
We're
that.
throwing out
We
suggestions.
tried to
I
find a
mean,
place now for now,
But what we're saying is we're also
Yeah,
giving you
yeah.
ideas now, because guess
Sylvia
what?
School.
I'm pretty sure the school committee meets in a few days. You can go and hit them
Yeah,
up
the
next.
the
Like-
problem is, same thing we've had with sports leagues, when we didn't have enough fields, and we suggested, oh, go to Durfee, or go to a school that has a field, let them use it, and what happens? They don't let anybody use it unless they're gonna pay for it. But we give everything out, like Nancy said earlier, for nothing.
let's make those fees, first
Right?
and last.
It's
first
not
and
about
last
the
rank.
fees.
Not with
It-
me.
It's
Unfortunately,
about
we
the
don't set
client sitting there
fees.
doing nothing.
No, it's just, it's easier to come to the parks. What I'm saying is, we have to try and find somewhere other than the parks. We've already determined that these things are not something that we want in parks. And for 20-some years, we haven't
Just
found
redid all
not one other piece of property other than a park that we can
Just
put
redid
down.
it.
Shame on us. Shame on the city.
Perfect scenario.
And that's why the
is
parks are
a
damaged,
piece
and
of
the school property
that's
isn't.
all stone dust, and that's it, it doesn't get damaged. Stone dust. You pull in, you do
Okay,
whatever
you need
you
to
want.
vote, because what's going on?
Nonsense, anything.
What about the old Henry
I
Lord
make a
School?
motion.
Commissioner Burns.
Henry,
No, I'm
old
just
Henry Lord is
kidding.
How much land do you actually need? I
Um,
mean, I don't know, but
Yeah, I think last time he said 300 by 300.
What's Dave's Beach doing these days?
No,
They just
that's
redid
state
it.
Oh, I
property.
tried that too.
That's state property.
That's
I mean,
state,
no.
that's state.
But see, this is what kind of gets me.
How about that
Davis
field on
Beach
Main?
says no, school department says no, this one says no, that one says no, but the only thing that makes the paper is park department says no.
The one that got
Why?
complained about.
Why is it not everyone else said no?
what's the dimensions of that field on Main
Hey, I'll
Street?
admit though, I've seen them
I
meetings
know,
in the
that was my
past.
thought, but I don't
It
think that's
hasn't
big
got
enough.
heated. Today's staying nice and calm.
The field that the guy complained about
Bay Street.
on Bay
Down the
Street.
bottom of Bay.
It's not that big, and I think you're near the railroad goes by there.
That's where they
Not
used to
on
have
the
them years ago.
It's all
Where's that?
fenced in too, though,
Off
so
of Bay
that's the other
Street, the
thing.
carnivals.
Yeah.
Where,
What about the
bread
overlook?
places now.
What
Metal
about,
Bakery
what
used
about
to
Cuss
have
Middle
it,
School
yeah.
with parking lot?
Oh, that would be good.
I think there's plenty of places,
That's huge.
and we've
I
had
don't
these
care.
conversations in the past.
You know, I'm tired of being parks.
Well,
Parks.
my
Everything's
friend,
parks.
my friend Ken Pacheco,
Yeah.
got my call tomorrow.
There you go.
He's the guy in charge, right?
And if anyone can do it, he can. I have full faith in him that he'll
Yeah.
find you a
Make a
place.
motion.
Nice guy.
Plus it's big.
So I can abstain.
All right, any other questions? What's the pleasure of the board?
All this talk, now we're silent.
Mrs. Smith, make a motion.
You want me to make a motion,
Make a
Carlos?
motion.
I'll make a motion to deny, unfortunately, because we don't have a location to do it in. I'm not against carnival,
Me neither.
but I've been on this board for a long time, as long as Mr. Caesar's been coming here, and it's the same, and he's right, it's the same talk, over and over and over again. So why would the rules change this year as opposed to last year, or any other year? So I can't support this, I'm sorry, but, I mean, I would love to see stuff for kids and carnivals, and if we had a place to do it, that's not gonna cause damage to the park or anywhere else. And I think I think the Henry Law Field is the perfect place to start.
Is a motion.
Mrs. Smith, second.
Do I have a second to deny?
Come on, Victor, you can do it.
I'll second, but I,
Under protest.
In that
he's
case,
gotta be.
in that
he's gotta
case, I
be-
withdraw my motion. I'm all set. Been talking about this for 20 years.
All right.
I think we should have a meeting with other people to get something.
Well, either way, whether you're gonna have a meeting or not, you need to either deny this, because tabling it isn't gonna do them any good. So if you're not gonna award it, then you need to deny it and make a point that you send a letter to the administration, or somebody contacts somebody.
I'll second that
to-
motion.
To put that in, I don't make motions, and he withdrew his motion now.
If I can.
Hold on one second, hold on. We're talking about motions and I ran out. What I was gonna, until you decide, you were gonna second, I was gonna say to amend it, almost what Mrs. Smith was saying is, because Commissioner Burns was saying it, to send something to the administration and put together a committee that finally, if they're really serious about doing this and getting fairground or something, get everybody together, all city officials, councilors, because they're gonna have to change the ordinances and everything else. It's not snap your fingers and gets done. I see the ordinance committee meeting, it takes forever to get a simple thing done. And, I would make that a motion to do that, work with them to finally get something together, not just for carnivals, for all fairgrounds, so they can do, I go to all these different communities, all these fairs and everything, I love that, agricultural fairgrounds, and it's just saying that we don't have this. Because we used to have Forest Celebrates America, and then miraculously, they didn't make money on it, but it used to be free, and we had everything, and then they started charging up to $10, but nobody made money on that.
Well, the business.
I don't understand that one.
Businesses used to pay for that.
Yeah,
and they
but
just couldn't
I
use that
just don't
money.
understand that. It was for free before, and we had
So-
tall ships, and we had everything coming in.
Mr. Chairman, so if you want to table, I would suggest this, if you want to table,
He can't table because there's not enough time to get this
no,
done
no,
for
but that's what I'm
July. So
saying.
he's
I
gotta.
can probably get a different date to push it down, if that's,
I wouldn't
if
push,
that's
I
the,
wouldn't push any dates to go with this guy,
still-
pushing date after date after date,
Yeah,
until
I
still-
you have somebody to move this along, Carlos.
To
'cause
be
it's-
honest, I don't think you're gonna have the votes to put it in any city parks. I think what I'm getting from the rest of these, commission, is they want the city to come up and everybody to work together and come up with a solution for this. So I don't think, even if you buy pushing dates and I don't think you're
no,
ever
it's
gonna
just
get
to
the
have
votes.
time to have that conversation.
The conversation's been
So-
taking 20 years. You think it's gonna
Yeah.
happen in 20 days?
Yeah.
I'm being honest,
I agree.
Carlos. I'm being honest.
Agree, I second on
I
that.
always speak the truth, you know that.
I
It
think
hasn't
what you
happened
just
in
gotta
20
do
years,
is-
you think it's gonna happen in 20 days?
You guys are the people, and you gotta hold people accountable and say, listen, we want this, get all your neighborhoods together and say they want something, a place to have this stuff. So,
Well, you can't just let the item sit.
no, we
You gotta
can't, we
make something of
gotta
it,
make a
people.
motion. So, Commissioner Silva withdraw his, I don't know if he wants to put it back or not, or Commissioner Rego or somebody else, I have no idea. I would say is, if you wanna make that motion to deny and then put together that a letter goes to the administration, councilors and everything, to say that,
No, I think you need to just send a letter to the administration stating
administration.
you would like to see a committee put together rather than have it always come back to the park board.
Yep.
To the committee comprised of the administration, state representatives, counselor, whatever, someone from each part of city and state government that might be able to help move this and find a set place that's not in a park, that's not gonna, because we're talking about making a fairground, we're not gonna put a fairground in Kennedy Park for the people of South Main and all those names, for the thing to always go there. By establishing this fairground we used to have it out on Airport Road, a we had carnivals, we had circuses. I know I'm dating myself, but that's where they were. They were off the beaten path.
Yes.
So they were not in someone's neighborhood with all the hullabaloo happening every night. And I think that's what we need to do again. It's not going to be in a neighborhood. It's going to be off of the beaten path a little bit so that it's not going to disturb, because if you do establish a fairground, it will be constantly used. We know that, and that's a good thing. We're not saying it's a bad thing, but it would be a bad thing in someone else's backyard. So we need to take it a little bit off the beaten path. So if, no matter what you do, you have to do something with this request tonight. And I don't believe that we're gonna come to any decision for a July 5th carnival, or an August 5th carnival, or a September 5th carnival. I think what you're gonna have to try and do is establish a piece of property. Again, we can't let it fall through the cracks again. But the people that are gonna stop that, Carlos, from falling through the cracks are people like yourself, that gotta keep on these individuals wherever they may be, because this board is not gonna be, we're gonna be able to send the letter, but it doesn't mean that we're gonna get an immediate response. We can do that in support of ourselves, so that the blame gets taken from the board, or the responsibility gets taken from the board and gets put citywide, statewide, and like Amber said, people that are writing letters can now participate in finding the solution rather than just write a letter.
And we make one more suggestion, because it's been brought up since last year, and then they brought it against this year. Councilor Kadim wants a joint meeting between the city council and this park board to go in front of the city council to discuss the future of our parks, what we want done and everything. Why can't we have a joint meeting with them and bring up this issue right there with the city council, and everybody can attend, the public and everything? I would suggest send a letter to them and the administration, and let's have a joint meeting. And let's finally get this, either they don't want to have it in the city at all, or let's get a plan together and do something. Because it's just going to keep coming back every year, and then no matter who's on this board, they're always the bad guy.
No, I'm the only constant, so.
You have your title already, so nobody's going to steal that from you.
I get a motion for, I guess, to deny, and let's see if we can set something up as a joint meeting or something with the administration and councilors and everybody, and finally get this going.
Been the bad guy before. Motion is denied, and we send a letter from the board to the administration or the council or whoever to, like you just said, set up some kind of joint meeting
To put
address
together a
this issue.
fairground or something.
I'll second that.
Okay. Commissioner Sylvia made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good. You guys have a nice summer.
Thank you. All right, item L,
See you next year, Colin.
updated information. So I know Commissioner Rigo was asking before. Item L. Pardon the thing, because when I first got this email, I got a little nervous, and then I read it quick. When it said coyotes at Father Tavasso's Park, I'm like, coyotes? I'm like, what? But it's the decoys that we bought for the geese, so I believe she's the secretary or something there, that they take them in and out every day. And they're just showing that they put them on the field for us.
I make a motion to place on file.
Seconded by Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item M, update dog park dispensers at Bicentennial Park, the Wall Street.
Already been done.
Yeah, it's already been replaced in that, but the thing is, that, I know it's been brought up at other meetings and everything. If you guys can see what's happening, we have to put these in here, and then they're getting vandalized because people are just breaking them in to steal all the dog bags and that. So, just
These are all hot? They're not in all the pots.
There were a lot of them.
yeah. So,
I haven't gotten
I'm just saying is, she's using her budget to do these, and then after, they're getting destroyed. So I know
Can get one
the
next year.
veterans were asking for more to be placed around. My thing is, I know they have cameras down there at Bicentennial. I think they just need to try to see if maybe put them in these dog pot things in a visible area where the cameras can pick up, and hopefully we can catch somebody that's vandalizing it.
Yeah, I don't think we should be spending any more money. I was a dog owner and I always had bags on me. If I forgot one, like, happens every now and then, but if you're taking your dog for a walk, you know you're gonna need to bring a bag with
I
you.
even
It's
hung
not-
bags on my fence so that they could use them if they needed them.
Yep.
It doesn't work. They're gonna go, they're gonna go.
$50 I say for it.
Do I just make a motion to place on file?
Yeah.
Make a motion to place on file.
You can make whatever motion you want if you
Motion
don't wanna
made.
buy it anymore.
Commissioner Burns made that motion, seconded by Commissioner Farias. All in favor, say aye.
Sell them at
Okay.
the dollar stores. They can go buy them themselves.
Any, you can just use your shopping bags and go.
That
Put your
too.
hand in, grab it, and turn it inside out. That's it. But anyways, commissioner inquiries. Any commissioner inquiries?
Please.
Joey, don't you dare.
My thing is just to wish everybody happy 4th of July, because we won't see each other until July 6th.
Oh, really?
Yes, July 6th is the first Wednesday.
July 4th falls on a Wednesday?
July 6th falls on a Wednesday.
Yes.
July 4th is Monday.
Yes.
So that's the first park board meeting, July 6th.
Means you better put your agenda together even earlier.
Right. I wish the best for Mrs. Smith and Mr. Demeen for the fireworks celebration.
Yeah, thanks.
Are we having fireworks?
Yes, yes. They'll be down at the waterfront.
I'll be there.
I'll get to
Alright.
see him from my new house.
Really? Yeah?
All right, any other commissioner inquiries?
Nope.
Everybody have a safe summer, and
Mission to adjourn.
permission to adjourn.
Wait, I make a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to
It's like,
adjourn.
wait, what?
Permission, I'm like, what are you talking, permission? Motion to adjourn. Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Sylvia, all in favor, say aye.
You better speak up, nobody hears.